Just watch. I'll go through the whole show and forget to mention it. Okay, here we go. It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, don't forget to mention this.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Well, it's day after Ash Wednesday, and I'm chagrined because I had said that I was going to bring the alligator head out for Mardi Gras on Tuesday, and I totally forgot. So I went and dusted him off, and here he is. And as I'm wetting it to trying to get the dust off it, I'm like, what if it melts? What if it comes back to
back to life?
Not back to life, but I don't want to wash off the varnish or anything on this. And the reason why I even have this and associate this with Mardi Gras.
New Orleans?
Yeah, what?
I don't want it to eat.
You want to hold it?
No.
Touch it.
I'm good.
You're allowed to touch it.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I bought it in New Orleans. I bought it in some street market in New Orleans where
It's not great to touch.
Why? The teeth are kind of... What's wrong with it?
No, just don't really...
I tried it. It's dry.
Yeah. It's not very fun to hold an animal's head in your hand.
You have a dog?
Well, yeah, but she's alive.
Oh, okay. Good point. Well, anyway, that's the old business from the Mardi Gras episode. It is the Frank and Friends show, and we have fantastic merchandise like this. Our mugs, the painting on the wall behind me.
Cell phone cases.
Oh, that's a nice
pint
one.
glasses. Mm-hmm. All the things at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
And you can listen to the audio of this, as many of you do actually, on all the different audio podcast apps. If we're missing one, contact me. Send me a Gmail at frankandfriendshow@gmail.com, and I'll chase it down. But I did a bunch of chasing. There's still one that irks me is I cannot figure out how to change the photo on Apple Podcasts. As much as I've sent them new ones, I've changed it on our podcast host. I've tried. I can't figure out how to delete it.
What is the photo?
It's not you. How about that? I wanted to just say that.
What?
I know.
We must have a new photo.
We must
Apple,
have a new
come
photo.
On.
Yes. I'm going to stick you on it. You've got personal motivation.
That's right.
All
I
right.
do. Okay.
We'll work on that.
But don't forget to smash that button and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Yeah, a few of the guys at WUTK subscribed to us on YouTube while I was standing there. So we went up 2.
Awesome. Thank you.
Over the weekend. And we still need more, of course. We need more. We're trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, which is only the first step toward being able to monetize. It lets you go live more easily.
Well, that'd be fun.
I think they changed it, so we can go live to YouTube to like a limited audience of 600 people only. But once you get to 1,000, then you can just go live and anybody can watch it.
That's fantastic.
So that's what we want to do.
So help us get to 1,000 so we can go live.
Yeah. And from we'll start, cruising around Pigeon Forge like on these 3-hour drives and go, well, there's the mini golf.
Mini golf.
I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway.
But we could do our show right now live.
We could. How have you been? What's new?
What's new? I'm still waking up from the weekends and trying to 6 loads of laundry later,
Freddie says that I asked her, I know she doesn't drink coffee, but I was going to try to apply some into her anyway.
You just put it in through like an IV.
Whatever, I have Diet Coke, I'm sure we'll have some other...
some caffeine. I've had caffeine today.
You know what I have? Shoot, I have chocolate. I have caffeinated chocolate.
That could do the trick.
We'll get you some of that.
Yeah.
Because you said once we start talking...
I'll wake up.
So I said, get to it, start talking.
I still haven't been talking.
But you had
had a busy weekend.
Yeah, I mean, of course, today's Thursday, and it feels like the last week has just flown by because a week ago today was the world premiere of I Can't Breathe, plus all the nonsense that I did.
Yep.
Tell me about you.
So I Can't Breathe went really well. We had 3 sold-out audiences. The opening night was sort of amazing. Just that everyone in the audience was so excited. Oh, that's probably someone calling me.
You're getting a call from Mr. Spam Risk.
Spam Risk,
Well, you can turn that off, can't you?
I sure did.
But you don't make it so that unknown calls don't ring?
I don't know how to do that.
Give me your phone while you're talking.
Here you go.
Just give me the settings. I need the settings.
You need the settings? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an amazing opening night.
That's fine. I can get it.
And opening weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody was really, really excited. The energy was amazing. Brandon Gibson, our librettist and managing director for the show, wasn't able to actually attend in person. But one of the fun things I did, and apparently he was surprised by it, but I had him come in on Zoom.
Yeah.
On a little iPad.
Yeah, you had it sitting on the back.
On the back.
Near the projector, because you used, again, brilliantly, projected images instead of physical sets.
Right.
And they were moving images. So one was the window, you knew we were in the house.
Right.
And then the props finished that. You knew we were at the convenience store, or you knew the police had arrived. Whatever the images on the wall told that story. So he's back there, literally sitting on top of the projector on this iPad, watching the room on Zoom.
Yeah. So I got to introduce him to the audience, and everyone turned around and waved to Brandon.
And did you parade through with him?
I did at the end of the night, every night. And the first night, for opening night, I actually stood outside because it was still nice outside. And I stood outside holding the iPad, and everyone came by and talked to Brandon. I was just like,
you didn't have a flunky who could have done that for you?
I probably could have, but
right.
I was really excited for Brandon, and people were bringing him gifts, and they were like, "Oh, you're not here," and so I collected all of his gifts and dropped them off at his apartment.
Yeah. Oh, you're allowed to see him?
I didn't see him. He actually wasn't even there. I was like, "Come on, Brandon."
I thought he's always there.
I know, you're always there.
Where did he go?
Well, he'd had an incident in his apartment, like part of the roof fell in. And he sent me some pictures of it, and it actually hit him on the head as he was walking by.
See, this is the problem with quarantining.
Yes, you shouldn't do it. And so the one time I come over to bring him some stuff, he's out at the front desk at his apartment building trying to find out about the ceiling. Yeah.
Okay.
Good times.
Well, good. So, and rave reviews from Arts Knoxville and Blank News and
Tennessee Today.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it was called Knoxville TN Today. Is the one that
Knoxville TN.
Harold Duckett
wrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is what happens to former newspaper guys. They go into these, they get online. I mean, guess what happens to former radio guys? You go online.
I mean, my favorite was the Blank newspaper.
Yeah.
They were there opening night. I felt like he really captured the audience experience.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But we had about 300 people watching online as well over the weekend.
That's fantastic.
It was great.
That's good.
But how about you? What about PJ Parkinson's?
Well, I think PJ Parkinson's went well. I mean, you and I both know that when somehow you get involved in an event and you're the great connector and you say to this person in charge of a thing, why don't you get, here's a sound company you can use, here's a singer we can get, here's something else. Your idea is that they're going to go and do their thing and not involve you any longer.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So on the day of the event, I start getting texts and calls from the sound engineers going, what does the opening act need? I don't know what the opening act needs. He's a track singer from Sevierville. He's going to need tracks. So they're like, is it on CD? Maybe. Well, no, it can't do CD. Is it on USB? I don't know. We can't do USB. So,
well, what can you do?
They wanted it just on an aux cable, so like on a phone or an iPad.
Okay.
Well, it turns out as we began peeling back the layers of the onion that day, the sound engineers thought, we better go back to the shop and get more equipment.
Just in
case. So they ended up getting a computer and probably a CD player. They had everything. Okay. So by the time that we got to that night, we have everything until the videos from Channel 6 show up. And then who do they ask? They come to me again. We got a problem. I'm like, what? How am I the problem?
You must have had a label on your forehead.
My one job was to wrangle together a group of people to sing some Front Page Follies songs. Mm-hmm. And we were going to do it live. So we have a keyboard and we have microphones and we're rehearsed. It's going to, and the Frank and Friends show was made a sponsor of the event. As I'll show you in this picture. Nice. We're up there on the big screen with all the big sponsors. It was very nice. And I was excited about all this. So maybe that's what it is, because they come to me and say, the videos that Channel 6 sent are in the Windows Movie Maker format, WMA. Like, yeah, what about it? They have Windows PCs over there, or they were emailing it to you or whatever. No, they have to be, they're all Mac, so they needed them on MOV or MP4 format. So now I'm trying to text somebody at Channel 6 that I don't have his cell number, I only have his desk number.
Oh my goodness.
And then I end up texting Tala Shatara because she's coming to the event. And she's like, I don't have anything to do with it. I'm like, yeah, but you know how to get in touch with the guy who sent the videos.
Who can help us with it. Oh my goodness.
So between them sending over new versions of the videos and my genius sound guys that I had recommended finding an online program that converts Windows to some other format.
You got it all organized?
Yeah, because it was nice. The videos are like all the other weather people. This was my idea that I didn't have to execute. One of the things I did actually successfully
remove yourself from.
Here's an idea. Let someone else do it.
Right.
Tala, I believe, is the one who got like all the Channel 6 weathermen and women and Channel 8 weathermen and women and Todd Howell from Channel 10 to all make videos, and they edited them together.
Oh, nice.
So on the big screen, here's Todd Howell showing pictures and doing a whole... I mean, it was very professional. They did it at their TV stations,
Nice.
you know?
Nice.
It looked good and sounded good.
That's awesome.
And then the Front Page Follies bit went great.
Great.
As you would expect. I mean, it's us up there just singing these songs about Matt.
Yeah.
So I texted him the script the next day, and he wrote back what a lovely time he had.
Oh,
and,
good.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Here, I'm proud that he was so happy about it. What did he write? He wrote, I always make him laugh. Thanks for being part of the festivities on Thursday. And the Front Page Follies has always been fun for him, you know, blah, blah, blah.
That's great, because he was in the Front Page Follies.
Yeah, we would have a song from the Weathermen every year, and
Right.
he would get up there and sing with the other guys. So that was nice.
So
that was a big hit and a relief that it went fine. And you know, I'm there. I'm kind of in that mode. Like, this isn't my event,
but you were doing all of the things.
Other people are treating me like it's my event. So we're rehearsing the Front Page Follies at 5:00. The doors open at 5:30. The organizer comes to me, and it's 5:12 p.m. and wants us to stop rehearsing because people are arriving. And the keyboardist, Terry Silver Alford, is like, well, I guess, and I looked her right in the eye, I said, it's not 5:30 yet, keep going. And I mean, at this point, I'm
Nice.
like, I'm telling people,
Right.
you get closer to the microphone, you back up, you
That's
do this,
awesome.
you do that.
That's awesome. You know what I was doing on opening night?
I hope this is probably the same thing, right?
Kind of.
Craziness.
It was crazy. I had to get one of my artists out of her host home because one of her hosts got COVID.
Oh, let's explain what that means. Is that when opera singers come to town to do a gig, they're only here for what, 2 weeks?
2.5, 3 weeks.
So you do this when you travel.
Yeah, and we get
they
put
don't
at
always,
people's homes.
They don't always put you in a hotel because that would be too expensive. But there are people on the board, the rich people who support opera, who have nice homes and guest rooms and space.
That's right. So my soprano was staying with actually a friend of hers who lives in Knoxville, and one of her hosts got COVID. And it was the day of the performance, and I get this text message saying, I don't mean to bother you, but my host has COVID. So I pulled her out.
Yeah,
I booked her into a hotel, the same hotel we had the conductor staying in. And she got over there around 3:30.
Oh, and showtime is 7:30.
Showtime is 7:30.
Oh, that's kind of close.
I'm driving. I'm on my way to the space already because we had to set up early. We need to be there by 4, get all the chairs and everything set up. And I get a text message that says, I can't stay here. It smells like smoke.
Singers can't stay in smoky rooms.
I was like, oh,
Wait, but how is there
great.
possibly a smoky hotel still
You
in the
know?
world?
And so I didn't question it. I was just like, cool. So I called the hotel, the front desk, and they were like, oh, yes, you can get a refund, but you have to go through hotels.com because that's how you booked it. And you have to do it by 11 p.m. tonight.
Oh, no. And you've got a show that's
Have
going to
a
go
show.
until 10:49. It was a long...
Yeah, it's a long show.
It was a long show.
It was a long
Kathryn,
show.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I know. Yeah. It was long, especially, yeah. Anyway, it was long. So I get there, and hotels.com does not have just like a phone number that you can call.
No.
You have to like get online and
Jerry
start
and I use it too.
texting a random person.
She gets some kind of bonus points for a free room every once in a while.
Yeah. So you get points. It's a good system, except when you have to.
Oh, except when it all goes wrong.
Except when it all goes wrong. So I was like on the computer trying to get a refund before I could like book her in another space. Ended up finding her another space for free, which was great. But then I had to, when I finally got through to a person, they were like, oh, the system is down. You're going to have to call this number.
Before 11.
Yeah. So I call the number, and they're like, oh, we're too busy right now. Do you want to call back? And I'm like, yes, give me a call back. So
Did they call you during the show?
they called me. No, it was like, probably at this point, it was about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock rolls around, and my phone rings, and they tell me, well, we can't do anything for you right now because the system is still down. You're going to have to call back in a couple of hours. I'm like, I can't call back in a couple of hours. I'm going to be in a performance. What am I supposed to do? They're like,
call it intermission.
yeah. So they told me...
So that's why the intermission was unusually long that night?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they told me to call back the next day and just let them know. So I had to do that the following day, but all before the performance. And on top of that,
and you're carrying around Brandon Gibson on an iPad.
I'm carrying around Brandon Gibson, and I get a phone call from James. My computer, meanwhile, is at home, loading the video for the online streaming performances.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And it needed...
And that was Thursday night?
This was Thursday night because we recorded it on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So we recorded it on Tuesday. I get it from
and
Jim
it was ready
Johnson.
by Thursday. That's unusual. I think you didn't promise it that early.
No. Well, it wasn't ready to go live, but Jim had given me the video.
Yeah.
I had started uploading it. When I left the house after it had been uploading for 4.5 hours, it was at 25% loaded. So this is how long it's going to take. I get a phone call from James, and he's bringing something for me that I forgot. So that was very nice. But in the conversation, I found out he had closed my computer.
Oh. That cancels the upload.
It cancels the upload.
Now you're back to 0%.
So I was like, open up my computer. Speaking of, he heard me talking about him.
Is that your husband, James, calling?
That's James calling me. Oh. Sorry, James. Love you. I'm like freaking out.
Tell him to call back at intermission.
Yeah. So he did open the computer, and I was just like,
it must be important.
It must be important. Oh my goodness. So
he's freaking out. Something's happening at his job, probably.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Actually, April Hill said to me that night, she's like, I've never seen you so stressed. I'm like,
she's a singer and board member.
yes. I mean,
and best friends with Brandon Gibson.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a stressful evening getting it up and running. A lot was going on.
Yeah, that's part of it.
It's part of it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to call your husband while I talk about Steve's, or do you want to?
Oh, he'll be okay.
He'll be okay?
Yeah.
He can make it
I'll just send him a text
All
message.
right, you send him a text. Because I was thinking about Steve's tree service, and Jerry and I think we're going to be calling Steve and Renee to come back for another estimate on the trees on the front of the house, because we had them take care of. It's been a year and a half now. We're so pleased with what they did in the back of the house. But after one of the rainstorms recently, there's a big old tree in the front, and one of the limbs is broken, not disconnected yet, but broken and laying across the top of these dogwoods. So Jerry said yesterday, you need to call Steve, don't we? I'm like, yeah, we got to call Steve. So that's the next, after we're done today, I'll call Steve and get him out here for another estimate. And my wife, of course, then my wife says, I just want to get the one limb taken down. And she says, I'd like to know how much it would cost to take all those trees down. Like, oh wow, those are big. Those are big giant maples that she wants to get rid of. So we'll see. I like them. We'll see if we can compromise.
Yeah, maybe half of them.
Yeah, I'll take the left half or the right half, whatever.
Do they come out and clean up like the debris?
That's part of
after
the job.
Storms? Yeah.
Well, part of their job is they'll clean up their own work when they take the stuff down. So if there's a mess after a storm, and you have to have trees that are damaged, storm damaged, you'd have to hire them obviously just to do their normal work, which would be fix the tree, cut down the broken limbs, either maybe take the whole tree down. I mean, that's what they mean by service. They service the trees. So
that's great. We need them to come out to my home, the condos, and get the HOA out there.
Yeah.
Hiring Steve's tree service.
Yeah, they do a great job, and they will clean up very well after themselves. So if you have, whatever the mess is, sometimes it's simple, like you have a tree you don't like, as long as it's not one of those endangered chestnut trees, they'll take it down. But if it's in a situation like me, where this tree, it looks sick now because it's got some dead wood on it, get it fixed up. So that's what I'm going to do. So whatever the job is, no job too big, no job too small for Steve's tree service. Call Renee for an estimate and tell Steve we said, hey, 865-257-6214. They serve the entire East Tennessee area.
Great.
Did your husband settle down?
He said he was just calling to say hi. So, hey, what's up?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Well, I'm glad to know that.
See how many more phone calls I get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got yesterday was Ash Wednesday, and so we got ashes at church, and I sent you a picture that Jerry took of me.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, there were a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think he had to give you more ashes?
Well, I
Because
mean,
it was you specifically? Or?
he did look me in the eye and say, Frank, remember that man, that you are dust, and unto dust you shall return. Because it was the bishop, actually. And I saw him walking into the church before Mass started. And I said hi to him. Then he's up there doing the thing. And as it turns out, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they had like 6 or 8 people giving out ashes.
Wow. Yeah.
But the way it worked out is I'm in his lane.
Okay.
So I'm right up there. In fact, I should probably show you the screen grab of me getting.
Was there an online
yeah,
version of this, and you went back and you got a picture of yourself?
Would you like to see it?
Yes. Oh my goodness. How many did you take?
So, so the bishop, I get my ashes from him, and it did feel like they were extra crispy, extra dark. As you can see in this photo, so Jerry took this picture of me after we left church, but she's joking about it, saying she wishes that there was a picture of us in the pew, which we were not on camera when we were sitting in the pew. She wishes that had been captured because she's looking at me and realizes that not only has he ground these into my head so hard, there's ash dust on my nose.
On your nose, yeah.
So she's on there wiping my nose, and then I look at her and she's got some too. So the two of us are sitting there wiping each other's ash
noses,
or dust, flecking little specks of ash off each other's noses. And
that's so sweet.
She thought, my wife thought so too. Why is that sweet?
It's sweet. You're taking care of each other.
Yeah, like old people.
Yeah, getting the ashes off of each other's noses. That's what happens as you get older.
Like penguins pruning each other's feathers, preening and grooming. The wild the wild ocelot cleans its mate's fur with its rugged tongue.
Exactly.
And then they had a nice little lunch after, which to me is hilarious because we just talked about it's a day of fasting and abstaining from meat.
So what are you giving up for Lent?
Calories, food. I need to lose some weight by April 11th.
You have a deadline. Oh no.
Might even be April 4th now that I think of it. So so we go to this luncheon, and we've just heard the sermon about fasting,
right,
and abstaining and all this wonderful stuff. And they have this spread of so many soups and so many salads and so many different pimento cheese sandwiches and egg salad sandwiches and hard-boiled eggs. And then that's like 3/4 of it. And then there's a whole nother 2 tables of desserts.
Ooh.
Of carrot cakes and cupcakes and cookies.
So you have to give up the meat, but you can still eat all of the good sugar?
I did not have any of the sugar. I said I can't.
It sounds like a good trade.
I won't do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you take a doggy bag so you could bring everything home?
No. I had a bowl, because one of the ladies said, well, last year was COVID, but 2 years ago, so many people showed up that the Ladies Guild didn't get any food because we had to wait until everyone else was served. So I'm like, well, that's it. No seconds for me.
But they should eat first before everyone gets in there.
Yeah, but that's not the way it works. They've all set everything up.
First,
they've made the food
that.
At home and brought it in, and it was all just fantastic. So the other thing they did is they did a collection for Ukraine, which, and I'm looking at the money going in that basket. It was quite a haul. But one of the priests has a contact, and they can wire the money directly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
So that's good.
Yeah.
We have a priest who's from Poland, and Poland is accepting refugees, so they're going to, anyway, whatever they're doing with it, it's, it certainly motivated people to put extra money in the basket, you can see.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you told me about a fish sandwich.
Well, for Lent, you can eat fish on Fridays, but not meat. In fact, the bishop even mentioned, he says, now I'm not talking about lobster.
Why not?
Well, technically you can eat lobster.
Okay.
Technically, in parts of Louisiana, you can eat alligator.
Can you really?
On Fridays during Lent, because even though it's a reptile, they count it as an aquatic creature, and you're allowed to eat alligator meat. I wouldn't want to. I've had it once. It was not that big deal. But you eat fish. And the point of it is just to deviate from your normal routine, to think about, okay, I can't have steak, I can't have chicken, I can't have turkey. I'll have to have fish on Fridays during Lent and also on Ash Wednesday. Or you can be vegetarian. You don't have to eat
meat
fish.
at all.
Yeah,
Right.
just
Yeah.
right. So there's multiple ways to do it, but the point is you're supposed to do something. You know, you can't just go about your regular routine, and you have to change something in order to observe Lent properly.
Right.
So I noticed that one of my favorite fast food restaurants has a fish sandwich for Lent, as you probably noticed. If you're not Catholic and you wonder why they only sell fish sandwiches in March, this is why.
That's interesting. But you know, didn't McDonald's used to have a really good fish sandwich?
Filet of fish. I've heard it's good.
Yeah. I don't know that they sell it anymore, but they do sell it in England.
I'll bet
year
you.
Round.
Well, because fish and chips are huge over there.
Yeah.
I'll bet you that filet of fish is back for March. We can look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
I'll bet it is. But Arby's has a fish sandwich, and then they now have a spicy fish sandwich.
Oh.
So that's what I would like to try on Friday. And those two are on the discount menu, so you can get, if you get two of them.
Nice.
So Jerry and I can go to lunch, get 2 sandwiches for $3 each, and save money.
Nice.
They
So
also,
you're giving up spending money and you're getting fish.
But they also added a deluxe fish sandwich on a Hawaiian roll.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I know. I mean,
what is the other fish sandwich on? What kind of roll is it on?
Regular.
Just like regular?
Regular hamburger bun, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah. What kind of fish is it?
Anonymous? Unknown?
Anonymous fish.
It's supposed to be cod. Usually, aren't...
Cod is good. That's
Yeah.
a good choice.
Cod is great. Mm-hmm.
Let us give thanks.
So
my goodness.
I do prefer cod. That's one of my faves. And so we have some frozen cod I can just cook anytime from frozen.
That's good.
And we bought that for Lent. But so if we're out on a Friday filming a Seymour Smokies, or actually, you know where we're going to be on Friday, which is tomorrow. We forgot to mention that we're going to the WATE Man Show at Chilhowie
right.
Park.
That's right.
So if we need to grab a sandwich on the way to or the way from,
Or we can go to, isn't there like a Irish pub downtown or something? We can have fish and chips.
how much time do you think we have? All
You
right.
make time for
All
fish
right.
and
You mean-
chips.
well, Clancy's, you're talking about?
Clancy's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, my friend that's the Turbyvilles run
Yeah.
that place.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, Josh and Shondell Turbyville run that place.
Well, maybe
Own
before.
it. I don't know who runs it. I guess they just own it.
Well, we're also going to Mephistopheles that night too, so
Yeah, Jerry, my wife, is in the Celestial Choir
that's right.
from Mephistopheles.
That's right.
And I've got my ticket, and you and James are going.
Apparently, yes.
Well, first of all, let's mention that you and I are on. We have to come up with something to say on stage. We have half an hour from 4:30 to 5 o'clock Friday tomorrow.
Do you think it's going to be hard for us to come up with words to say?
How long have we been talking now? Oh, shoot, I just turned off the thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, well. I mean, we're still on. It's
Yeah.
still recording. It's just,
Yeah.
what have we done so far? Yeah, we're at 27 minutes. So I guess technically we just did
The show.
If we can do this again tomorrow,
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay.
I don't think we could ever say the same thing twice.
I don't mean this thing.
I know.
I mean a new thing.
Yeah, we'll say a new thing.
My point is, can we go for 27 minutes tomorrow? I think so.
Yeah.
And that'll be tomorrow's excitement. And we'll record it. I think we may as well.
Yeah, why not?
Bring the ring dang do, and chop it up, make it a Seymour Smokies episode, because that's why we're going. We're going there to represent Seymour Smokies at the Man Show.
That's right. That's going to be fun.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have some interesting vendors, and they have a chicken. We're on right after a hot wing eating contest.
Which we won't be able to take part of. Well, I guess I can have some chicken.
Are you going to do hot wings right before we go on stage?
Maybe, you know.
I dare you.
Sounds like a good idea.
I mentioned briefly that I got screen grabs of myself getting ashes at
Surprise,
at
surprise.
church. But that is a callback, of course, to the screen grabs that I took at my friend Tracy's funeral at the beautiful Greek Orthodox church. So I sent the clip, I made a little 60-second clip of, because you did a really good job of peppering me.
I don't know what you mean.
Well,
I was being very nice.
It made for a good segment, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you left me, you were getting me there pretty good because I was stupid, but it was a good segment. So I sent that, but I went ahead and sent it to the dead woman's husband, the widower.
Did he like it?
He loved it.
Okay, good.
And then I sent him the whole episode. I said, well, that's only 1 minute. It was actually a 12-minute conversation about your wife's funeral. So I sent him the whole thing. And he writes back that he sent it to his folks, which I think means his parents, right?
Yeah,
Not
I think
his,
folks. Yeah,
not his
like
wife's,
a folk.
not his
yeah.
wife's parents.
No, that would probably mean his own parents.
His own parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with
I
that.
guess they loved it too, because he texted me back and said, this is yesterday, said, can I FaceTime with you? I'm like, sure.
That's nice.
So I had a nice FaceTime chat with him.
Well, that's nice.
As I was getting ready to head out the door for something else. And then we're going to have lunch on Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
So he's a good fella, you know.
That's good.
He was telling me about the Greek Orthodox customs and some of the oddities, some of the, he says some of the dark humor that he and Nina and their son, oh crud, I almost forgot Jonas' name. Anyway, I have to look it up, sorry. They were about trying to pick the dress for the
funeral,
dead lady to wear,
and
how they picked out this beautiful dress and everything's set, it's done, and then this one cousin calls up and goes, "Not the blue dress."
Does she not look good in blue?
She looks great in blue, but this woman had a theory that bruises are more visible if you're wearing a blue dress. I'm like, what bruises?
I mean, that's suspicious. That's very suspicious. Why are there bruises?
Well, it was the blue dress, and I didn't notice any problems. I think it went fine. So, but this one cousin, that's her theory. Don't get buried in blue.
Okay.
Oh, that's her. Maybe you need cousin. Cousin feels that way.
Apparently I'm not supposed to wear blue at all.
You got on blue now.
I know.
I have on blue now. Why can't you wear blue?
Well, I was doing a show once, and
I'm checking your eyes.
No, my eyes are brown.
Are those your actual eyes?
Yes. No, I put new ones in.
Well, some people wear contact lenses.
No, my eyes are brown.
Okay.
I was doing a show, and the character was supposed to wear a blue dress. And it was a world premiere, and the producer had gotten a red dress for me to wear. And not only was it the wrong color, but it was also the wrong style, size, and fit. So after I showed it to the director, he was like, "This is not going to work." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think so either." But I didn't want the company to have to buy anything. And we were going to be producing the opera here in Knoxville.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to be doing it anyway. Let me see if I can find a dress for myself. So I went on Amazon and ordered like several different blue dresses with the director's input, and told the producer, I'm going to get this dress, because we're going to do it, and explained all the reasons why. And she looks at me and she says, "Do you even look good in blue?" I was like, well, I don't really know that that's the point, but
sometimes the best defense is a good offense. When rather than admit that you made a mistake, you go on the attack and say,
"You don't even look good in blue." So it's one of my favorite things to say from now on. Every time I wear blue, at least one of my friends says, "But do you even look good in blue?"
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I've got my actual blue eyes.
Yep.
And I'll wrap up the show with this quick story about last Friday night. I was on at WUTK on the Funhouse with, and here we all are getting a picture made after the show. And the young lady who's standing next to me, her name is Christine. She was listening on her way to the station. She volunteers or hangs out or whatever it is. She's part of the Funhouse crew, and she's driving there as my interview has started. And we're somehow talking about our Seymour Smokies adventures.
Okay.
And the guys on the main hosts of the show, Derek and Rob, wanted to ask me about the time when I was on the big Top 40 radio station, the morning show in town.
Sure.
Because they remembered listening and, driving their kids to school and blah, blah, blah. And I tell the whole story about how there's these women, mostly, but people in their mid to late 20s who, when they realize I'm that same guy, get all excited. Well, all right, we start playing some songs, commercials, blah, blah, blah. This Christine shows up, and she's like,
Frank Murphy.
I'm just listening. I said, let me guess, you're 25, 28? Well, actually 29. I'm like, okay, that still counts.
Yep. It's in that category.
And so at one point in the middle of the conversation, she just says, your eyes really are blue. I said, well, I've got tiny pupils. Can't help it.
Did you used to talk about that the fact that your eyes were blue?
I don't know. In real life, sure, we talk about it all the time because that you're right. We did talk about it on the radio in one of the Dancing with the Knoxville Stars.
Oh.
I didn't have time or interest to go pick out a tuxedo for myself. So I think it was like either Kim Hansard and Lori Tucker or Tirsa Smith or somebody. There was a group of women who had gone to help with who were involved in the show that year. Somebody from Channel 6 and Kim, and they picked out a tuxedo for me to wear with this bright electric blue tie and vest because it would make my eyes pop. And it did. It was beautiful.
And ever since then, you've really enjoyed wearing blue tuxedos.
And Vicky at Channel PBS, East Tennessee PBS, what number channel is it? 2? 15? Oh. Anyway, she always likes to tease me if I'm not wearing blue. How come you're not wearing blue? You should be wearing blue on the show all the time. You should always be wearing blue.
Yeah, it is a good color for you.
Yeah, so I've got one.
Yeah.
One color I got.
There you go. That's good.
All right. Let's wrap this one, and hope to see you maybe at the Man Show at Chilhowie Park tomorrow, live and in person. We go on stage at 4:30. Otherwise, we'll make an episode out of it and look for it within the next week or so, depending on how long it takes me to edit over the weekend. Toi 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 to Jerry and all of the choristers and principals and everybody with Mephistopheles this weekend.
At the Knoxville Opera. That's
you got friends in that one?
I know a lot of the chorus people, and actually Kirk Doherty.
Oh yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, we've sung Tosca together, so.
Oh yeah, I met him when he was here for a KO show, and I interviewed him. And
yeah, he's got a nice voice, and he's a really nice guy. Yeah.
Good. And that Abigail Villalobos, something like that?
I think she's from Nashville.
I've heard her. She sang at the Catholic Cathedral. They do this cathedral concert series, and I've heard her sing there more than once. And
good.
I love her voice.
Oh, awesome.
Beautiful.
That's exciting.
And then Allison Dede.
Dede, yeah. She was a UT student.
She's got a great voice, too.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be a good show.
It's going to be a good show.
All right. Devil and Faust. If you like listening to things, you can enjoy listening to all sorts of, like, for example, one of the things I need to do is maybe listen to a podcast about Faust and Mephistopheles, so I'm a little brushed up.
That's a good idea.
On the thing. And the classical station up in Washington, D.C. has a great classical podcast. So you can listen to those kind of things with audible.com. And when you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow, you're supporting us and getting a free 30-day trial. And during that 30 days, one free download to keep forever.
It's exciting. And you can listen to all of the things there. So books and other podcasts and special content that's made just for audio.
Yeah, and it's nice. So anyway, get all that on all your different devices, whether it's your iPad or your phone or your Apple CarPlay or your Amazon, what's her name over there? I can't say it because
She'll start talking to us?
Yeah, okay. It happened to me. A quick side note, I'm recording my radio program, and I am plugging the fact that you can listen to the Lake FM on you-know-who. You say,
oh, nice.
You say echo, play Lake FM. Well, I'm doing the plug on the radio, and it turns on, and I might have to...
You're like, no, not right now.
And I had left the volume set jacked up to like 7, because...
Normal. Yeah.
Well, there's a podcast I listen to every morning that has super low volume. So every morning I jack the volume all the way up.
That's good.
But I forgot to turn it back down. So next thing you know, it's like, now playing Lake FM. Anyway.
That's great.
So, whatever. But man, my favorite DJ was on. I couldn't go wrong.
Yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing.
Smashing that button.
Buying our merch. That also supports us very much. We appreciate you for doing that.
And you can find that at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
All right. We'll talk to you again next week. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Fraser.
This is the Frank and Friends Show.